welcome to Marin Montessori School. This is Creekside Farm. Today we're standing right next to our local cover crop, so we're planning to mow soon, but today I'm going to show you the components of our soil. So, see that? You see the soil, it's rich in nutrients. You see, hold on. See, the soil is damp and moist in nutrients. You can see it's crumbly, it's rich in compost and rich in nitrogen. These plants, you can see, are thriving. You see, look at the roots, see the bacteria all around those roots, feeding the plant, giving this plant nutrients that it needs to survive. You can see the soil crumbly and healthy. This is a plant that is thriving in its habitat. You can see these spores that are housing these bacteria, feeding the plant the nitrogen, and this plant in return gives it back the nutrients that these bacteria need to thrive. These carbohydrates, these sugars, these starches. And it's a symbiotic relationship between these bacteria and these plants. As you can see, it's a simple relationship, but it is very nourished. See there, once again, the bacteria all around the roots. And the soil is so rich in carbon, organic matter, that it's thriving. And you can see our ecosystem around here is quite extraordinary. Now we're going to move on.
So part of the reason that these cover crops are so successful is because there are so many of them. And as you can see, look, we have all different sorts of cover crops. And when these cover crops die, they fall to the earth and decompose and become organic matter. Organic matter is matter that was once alive, or still is alive, that has decomposed into the soil and now becomes very rich and in nutrients and supports other plants' growth. For example, take this fava bean. As you can see, it's in beautiful green color, it's flowering, and that is because, look all around it, all of these plants have fallen to the earth and supported this fava bean's growth.
So right here, we have topsoil. Topsoil is the soil that is on the surface of our earth, and it holds all the nutrients because when the plant's roots go down into the soil, the bacteria, they come over and decompose all the organic matter. And so the soil is rich with nutrients and can support the life of plants.
Alright, so you might be wondering how all this affects climate change. All these cover crops in the field, when they get mowed down, what happens is it covers the crop and it's dead. So it's covering the crop, it's covering the soil. What this does is when the soil intakes that water, the water stays in the soil and is not evaporated out because that cover crop is protecting the soil from the sun. Something else that happens is that when this cover crop dies and decomposes here, let me just get one of these cover crops, it adds organic matter to the soil. When it decomposes, you see this crumbly soil, it's healthy soil. It's all being helped by these cover crops. Something else that happens is photosynthesis. You've probably heard of it. The process of the plants taking in that CO2 and giving out the oxygen for us to breathe. These cover crops perform CO2, and that helps absorb carbon from the atmosphere. And these cover crops are absorbing the carbon from the atmosphere and helping our planet and helping climate change in the process.
That was a quick time lapse of us killing our cover crops to add organic matter to the soil without using a tractor. A tractor tills the soil, and when a farmer tills the soil, it adds carbon to the atmosphere, which helps contribute to climate change.
Alright mate, thank you so much for watching this video. It's a blast to film. Hope you learned a lot about cover crops in this video. Very interesting subject. You can try it on your own farm, in your own garden. You can put some cover crops down. It's good for the land, it's good for the earth, and it's good for your crops. Try it out. Leave a like on this video, subscribe to our channel, Farm and Climate, and we'll catch you later. Peace, mates.